The GTI has been at the forefront of the hot hatch phenomenon since it was launched in 1976, and no one would argue that since its launch that the GTI has remained at the front of the pack. Hi, I'm Tim Pomeroy, this is NRMA's driver's seat, and this is the all-new 7th generation Volkswagen Golf, launched here in Australia just a few weeks ago. Many people are saying that the new Golf and this new GTI looks much like the old model, but if you look closely you'll pick up on the changes. From front on, the new GTI has a much lower, wider stance, and the front headlamps have been redesigned and squared off to give it a more contemporary look. And the prominent wheel arches cover an all-new 18-inch wheel and tyre package. Through the bonnet there's a much sharper, chiselled line, and that line continues through the side of the GTI. In the old model, this line was above the door handle. Now it's below, and that creates a lower, wider look. At the rear, the whole design's been cleaned up. There's a new tail lamp assembly, and of course, the trademark Golf GTI twin outlet exhaust. They're prominent through the rear-designed rear diffuser. And it's not just about the exterior. Have a look at the inside of the all-new GTI. Inside, it's all about practicality, with 4 doors and a good cargo area. The sport seats, for me, offer almost the perfect combination of comfort. They hold you securely without feeling like a hard race seat. Under the bonnet is a familiar 2-litre double overhead cam turbo 4-cylinder engine. Power is up 7 kilowatts to 162, but more importantly, the engine torque is now up to 350 newton meters. That's up from 280. And that's allowed the engineers to make some significant changes to the gear ratios to maximise that extra torque. In the old days, performance used to come at a cost at the petrol Bowser, but not with this GTI. Fuel consumption is amazing. We recorded just 6.9 litres per 100 k's on our highway cycle and 7.5 litres on our city cycle. The suspension has been revised, and you'll pick up immediately on the larger 18-inch wheels and tyres. The steering rack has been changed. Volkswagen call the rack progressive steering. We know it as a variable ratio rack, and it's quicker on turn-in, and the turning circle has been reduced from 2.7 to just 2.1 turns lock to lock. In terms of ergonomics, it doesn't get much better than this new 7th generation Golf. Ahead of the driver there's 2 large, easy-to-read dials for speed and engine revs, and in between the 2 of them is a digital readout for speed. I think all cars should have that. It's really easy and simple to see. And about the only criticism that I've got is the placement of the switches for the windows. In some models it falls to hand just a little easier, but in the scheme of things that's really a minor niggle. I drove the new GTI at the Australian Automotive Research Centre in Victoria recently. It was our home for a week for the Australia's Best Cars Awards. And against some serious competition, the GTI proved itself as the car to beat in the sports car class. And today, in the real world, the GTI is just as dynamic. I'm really impressed with the improved turn-in when cornering and the extra grip the new wheel and tyre package provides. This 7th generation Golf may not have the style of its 3-door competition or the outright performance, but if you only had one car in the garage, the Golf GTI offers the practicality of 4 doors and a sporty yet compliant ride that few can match. It makes it just about the perfect performance hatch for everyday driving.